Yeah, what's going on, Y2BC? Coming back with another vid. This time I wanted to break this down. The upcoming matchup between Shane Mosley versus Ricardo Mayorga, scheduled on August 29th at the Staples Center here in LA, where I'm from. Well, first things first. This is actually a rematch between the two because they both fought back in 2008, which was a very, very great fight. Could have gone either way. Very impactful. Whatnot. It ended with the TKO by Shane Mosley at the end of the 12th round. So, yeah. This time around, I know Shane Mosley is coming out of retirement, and since his defeat, or he retired in his corner against Anthony Mundine back in 2013, whatnot, and Mayorga, on the other hand, has had 2 fights since 2014, so he's been a little more active than Shane. He fought at middleweight against a journeyman named Alan Medina in Oklahoma, a guy with a record of 8 wins and 28 defeats, and he knocked him out in the first round. And then he had another fight in his home country of Nicaragua, in Managua, Central America, that is. And he fought a undefeated contender at light heavyweight by the name of I forgot the dude's name. I can't even pronounce it. His last name is Saragoy, I believe, whatever his name is. But he knocked him out, I think, in the 5th round or 6th round, whatnot. But, how this fight came about, based off what I've read and what I've heard, it started with a Twitter war beef between the two when Mayorga called out Shane, and then he had said some things about his son. And then Shane didn't like that. He responded like, "I will beat your ass," and whatnot. And then Devil Alexander retweeted. He got in there and retweeted what Shane was, the exchanges between Shane and Mayorga, whatnot. And then the two ran into each other again in Vegas, where they were talking shit in the hallway, blah blah blah. And then next thing you know, a photo surfaced on the internet where the two actually signed the contract, and the fight's made. So they'll be ready to go. They're contracted to fight at 154, based off the conditioning and physique level. I mean, Shane looks more cut up and ripped, and he looks like he's ready to go. Mayorga, on the other hand, knowing that he's really blown up in weight over the years. Like I mentioned, he did fight at 175 in his last fight down in Managua. But based off the photo that we've seen, the recent photo between, with him, with Shane Mosley signing the contracts, he did look like he was shredding the weight. So he could be possibly around 164, 162, 164 at this stage. He has 30 days to lose the weight. So I don't have no doubt in my mind he can make the weight. So we'll see. Because you can lose 10 pounds within 30 days, so that can happen. So we'll see. Other than that, let's break this down here a little bit as far as skill set, who has the advantage, whatnot. Shane, boxer puncher, who's very precise, throws a lot of combos, can put punches together, whatnot. Very good hand speed, has tremendous power in those hands, whatnot. What Shane will have to do is use those skills that he had in his previous fights against Mayorga, keep him at bay with his jab, make sure he doesn't give Mayorga a chance to throw the shots in the inside. However, what Shane's going to have to do is find a way to figure out to counter Mayorga's wild shots from the outside, because Mayorga does throws them in weird and awkward angles where you can't see him coming. So what he's going to have to do is keep his guard up at all times and anticipate those shots. Mayorga, on the other hand, yes, use the regression, but control aggression. Don't get too wild. Don't be throwing punches in angles, in wild and awkward angles where you leave yourself open. Just like how you did in the Felix Trinidad fight, where you left yourself way too open, where Trinidad was able to counter those shots at a distance. Make sure you straighten out that right hand. Don't rely too much on that overhand right, because I know he had a tendency of doing that. You know, that right there gives guys like Shane Mosley an opportunity to counter something with that by moving to his right. So with that being said, I also want to add, just keep the pressure on Shane, because sometimes Shane doesn't really fight well going back a bit. So with that being said, I'm very looking forward to this fight. And I know a lot of fans were trashing this fight because these guys are way past their prime. Shane is 43 and Mayorga is 41. But given the fights that we have seen over the past 2 years, particularly the Pacquiao and the Mayweather fights and previous Mayweather fights, and some other horrendous matchups like Danny Garcia versus Rod Salka, whatnot, I honestly believe this fight will be 10 times, I would say 100 times better than those fights that I just mentioned, particularly the Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight, because I honestly don't see these men clinching a lot. They're going to be pretty much brawling like they did in the first fight back in 2008. They're going to be fighting each other. They're going to be throwing a lot of bombs. They're going to try to get each other out. I just don't see this fight going past the 10th round, if that. I think somebody's going to get knocked out, and I will have to give the edge to Shane Mosley. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. I'm out. Peace.